and so while inside, Moat ordered up a shotgun.
The evidence suggests that that was probably when the gun was procured. The phone calls used coded language like a car with 6 wheels, which I would argue was code for a gun and 6 cartridges.
On the day he came out, Moat wrote on his Facebook page, "I've lost everything. I'm not 21 and I can't rebuild my life. Watch and see what happens." And so Raoul Moat's carefully laid plan for vengeance began. That afternoon, he was seen on CCTV dressed in a bright orange t-shirt and buying camping equipment, gear he'd rely on just 36 hours later. The following day, concerned about his state of mind, prison authorities sent a report to the police saying Moat could pose a serious threat to Samantha Stobbart.
I think Raoul was mentally ill at the time. I think he'd suffered a severe breakdown. And my concern is for my brother, and I think had he been possibly rearrested or apprehended at the gates and he'd been treated, things might have been different and this terrible cycle of events might have been prevented.
Northumbria police can't comment on the report from Durham Prison, as it's still the subject of an ongoing Independent Police Complaints Commission investigation. That same day, Moat's partner in his tree surgery business, Carl Ness, delivered the car with 6 wheels, a sawn-off shotgun with 6 cartridges.
Moat had installed CCTV at his house, and it appears that he had installed that to keep an eye on the police and gather evidence of police harassment. So for me, it just sort of further underlined his paranoia. But it's quite ironic, I suppose, that the CCTV footage that was recovered from his home address actually showed Carl Ness delivering the gun.
Now in possession of a shotgun, Moat set to work adapting its cartridges with lead fishing weights. He wanted the weapon to pack a more deadly punch.
Modifying the cartridge means that having a single projectile, the single projectile will possess all the energy from the shotgun, from the cartridge discharge, so that will mean that the projectile can travel further than the individual pellets, and when it strikes a target it could penetrate, to a greater depth on the body.
It's clear Moat was planning to shoot to kill. In the small hours of Saturday morning, Carl Ness drove Moat to the house where Samantha and Christopher were winding up a night in with friends. An increasingly paranoid Moat hid under the open living room window, texting his pal Ness to say those inside were laughing about him. One text message read, "I'm going to kick off nice and proper when they come out." Samantha and Christopher had no idea Moat was carrying a gun, though they were clearly worried about the threat he posed.
They decide that they're going to leave, and Chris asks, "Have I got a bat or anything what he can take with him just in case there's any trouble in the morning?" Because we didn't expect any trouble that night. I went upstairs and I got him a bar off my weight bench. And I says, "There you go," and I shook his hand and I says, "Right," I says, I'll probably see you tomorrow night, mate." He got to the gate and out the corner of my eye I seen somebody running across the grass, and Sam shouted, "It's Raoul," and then the first shot went off. The first shot, it was like, it was a shock. You just didn't expect it, and Sam's screaming. And Chris is staggering across the grass when Raoul takes the second shot at Chris. And Chris took a few more steps and went down on the floor, And Sam, by this time, turned around and she was crying. She ran back into the house. And Raoul just walked up to him calmly and he nudged him in the back with a gun.
With a third shot, Raoul Moat killed Christopher Brown. But the shooting wasn't over. Moat had a clear view of Samantha in the well-lit living room. Again, he raised his shotgun and blasted her through the glass.
and there's another bang. All you hear is Sam say, "I've been shot, I've been shot." There's just blood all over the floor. There's blood on the units. She's got a hole in the arm. She was starting to turn white and her lips were turning blue. It was just absolute mayhem.
Moat ran from the scene before being caught on CCTV nonchalantly walking towards a taxi to make good his escape. The morning after murdering Christopher and maiming Samantha, he phoned a friend to brag. "I've shot Sam. I feel full of beans, like a huge cloud has been lifted from my shoulders." Father of two, Christopher Brown, wasn't and never had been a police officer.
We were at a birthday party for one of the neighbours' children, and the police car pulled up and we were all laughing out the front and saying, "Oh, someone's in trouble again." And they walked over to us and just came in and he told me what happened. It was horrific. It's one of your worst nightmares. And you don't ever think that you're going to have children and they're going to die. It's bad enough, God forbid they die of illness, but to die the way he died, it's horrendous.
Raoul Moat's vicious attack initially appeared to the police to be an all too common domestic grudge killing. But this was just the start. For the deluded Moat, it was payback time for all those he thought had ever wronged him. It was day one of murderer Raoul Moat's rampage. Northumbria police thought they were dealing with a tragic